Hello and welcome. My name is Evgeny Rusakov and you're watching TVP World interview from Vilnius. We have spoken about human rights situation in Belarus many times. During our interviews, we emphasized what inhuman conditions people find themselves in when they go to Belarusian prisons. Today's edition is special because we will be talking to a person who went through all of this horror and felt the regime's hatred firsthand. Our today's guest is Belarusian journalist and political prisoner Kseniya Lutskina. Kseniya,
hello.
Glad to see you with us here today. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, and I'm very glad to.
Kseniya, you've spent 4 years in Belarusian prison. And the interesting fact that you told me before the interview is that learning any foreign languages in Belarusian prisons is a kind of a extremist activity, right? Am I right here?
Yes, you are right.
So
that is why I should say
sorry
for my
our
not perfect English, because I hadn't practiced for last 4 years, please.
I do understand, but still, I just wanted to first mention this fact. Again, when we talk about inhuman conditions in Belarusian prisons, here we go with the first fact. Okay, so let's start from the beginning. You were detained in the end of 2020, in August. In December. In December, yes. That's right. After almost 2 years, you were sentenced to 8 years imprisonment under general regime conditions under Article 357 of the Criminal Code of Belarus, which is conspiracy or other acts committed for the purpose of seizing state power. You look like the one who could definitely, literally seize state power from Alexander Lukashenko, that's for sure.
I think so too.
Yeah, sure. So, could you please shed more light on the process itself? What was it like?
It's terrible. Nothing depends on you. Nothing. You can control just yourself and nothing more. Firstly, the reason of my arrest was I was working at Belarusian state television until 15 years. And then in August of 2020, we had a big strike. And
yes,
after
we do remember that, for sure.
After that strike, I became a council of one of the council in the coordination
Cabinet.
Cabinet,
that's
yes,
right.
For Belarusian investigation system,
it's a crime.
It's a crime.
It's a crime.
Yes.
Being active.
Now I can say that yes, I was very active in 2020, and I think that it's not crime. It's right. Real reason of the arrest was me and my colleagues. We tried to make an alternative
project. TV project.
TV project. We became to make a media project and media platform, and the internet and YouTube was just one of
the platforms.
Yes,
that's right. Okay. So
and
that was a fully TV project.
Fully TV project.
Full
yes.
Full TV project. Okay, I see.
And then it was it's my mistake.
Let's move on. So you were released in August 2024 and came to Lithuania just a couple of days ago. So why did you leave Belarus? Was it hard to leave? And how would you describe those last 6 months that you've spent in Belarus?
First, and the most important, I was with my family. I'm a human. And of course it's the main. But we have another side. Have you ever lived in the world of George Orwell?
1984, you mean?
Yes. Can you imagine that?
I hope I never will, to be honest.
But I understood that it's a dictatorship in life. It's a total control of any side of your life. It's a big fear in the streets, in the cities, in the city, now in a village. People are feared to read. People fear to watch something wrong.
Oh, really?
Really, and it's really that, and it's you can understand their fear because after all their activities about reading something wrong or watching something wrong, they could go to the prison, and I know such people in the prison who were there. Even
just watched something wrong on the TV.
Yes, not TV, in internet, because our TV now very, very right.
Well, I know for sure that we've had some people from Vesna organization. Then we had some people, human rights defenders from Belarus, and they said that literally people get in jails just for some likes on social networks, literally just putting some laugh or something, some joke about Lukashenko or anything about system in general, you could get in jail, or you could get that so-called home chemistry.
And yes, and what about such people? It's very simple people, and it's terrible. It was very terrible in the prison. A grandma, normal Belarusian grandma from village.
How old, by the way?
70.
Okay, 70 years old. Okay.
Can you imagine? And she has a term for 1 year and more because she had a like.
On a social network?
On a social network, or because she writes something, and it's terrible because she's just a grandma from the village. She don't understand at all the situation.
Okay.
It was her heart and it was her emotions and anything more. And she's a political prisoner.
And she's a political prisoner. That's terrible. Okay, talking about your last 6 months, you've also said that this was even worse than a home chemistry.
Yes.
So you had to go to a police station
every
day, and you had to literally put your signature on the papers. You were not allowed to leave Belarus. By the way, I'm not asking how you left Belarus, because as far as you know, and you informed me just before the interview that you are not allowed to speak about this.
Yes.
Okay, which makes sense for sure.
What about me? It was, of course, it was total control. You're going from prison to home, and you want to. It was my dream to live some days or some months, maybe 2 months, in a quiet village, and I didn't want to see someone without anyone. But I understood that it's impossible. I need to be in Minsk, in my flat, with the police control, and I need to go there every day. And of course, they can come to me every day too.
At any time?
Any time. And of course, I need to go to find a job. It's very impossible. It's very important to find a job for such people, for such person as me. But it's quite difficult to find. It's not possible to find a job for us.
You mean the political prisoners, or anyone who has
been in activities?
Kseniya, let's move on. During your incarceration, it became known about your serious health issues. So did this affect the conditions of your detention in any way? And how, in general, would you describe your experience of detention?
What about my health? I can say just one, and I think it's important because they tried to make something with me. You mean the system
in general?
In general, they tried to make something to help me with my health, but they couldn't, because they could give me some medicine, but they couldn't give me therapy.
Okay.
But they tried.
They really tried?
And they really tried, and doctors, of course.
Okay.
Because we should know that all the people, and in the system we can see that all the people are different.
Okay.
And we can see that normal people.
There are normal people.
Of course, we can find the normal people.
You say there are normal people. Then here's a question.
Not all.
Yeah, sure. I do understand that. Some of them, I guess, some of those people that work in the system, they really hate all of those political prisoners and everyone who stands against the president and his administration. But here's the thing. What do you think are the motives of those people that, well, you say that are normal and still work in the system? Is it just because they have nowhere to go? This is the only job they could find? What's the main reason they stay?
Sometimes because of this reason. Sometimes because they're afraid to. If they say sorry, I left, they could be near with me.
Oh, really?
Really, of course.
So that's why they're just
But-
literally afraid to exit the system.
Yes, because it would, if they exit the system, they could be political prisoners.
Okay, here's another then question. How, in general, would you describe treatment of political prisoners and women in Belarusian prisons?
Very hard. Man, it's a man, but women, they should work every day for 8 hours at a factory. It's quite difficult, a difficult physical job. And then when they came home, they are not come for the rest.
Okay.
No, they began to work. They began to have another job, very, very hard physical job. Everything that they could build, they could
You mean
clean
we're talking about
streets.
prisons right now? Right?
Yes.
Okay.
It's very, very hard physical every day. They had no free time. They work, they had job every minute of every day.
Kseniya, do you think Lukashenko personally hates each and every political prisoner in Belarus? And can the system he built last without putting people in jail for political reasons?
I think it's the main question. Because
I left it for the end.
yes, because I don't think that he hates every person, every political prisoner, because he couldn't know everyone. It's too many people.
It's
thousands.
at this specific moment, it's more than 1,200.
Yes, but of course he hates some people personally. Of
Were
course.
you one of those people?
Yes, I think I was one of these people because I came from his government state system.
Okay.
I was from state television.
State television,
It's
that's right.
his lovely toy,
Beloved too.
and I love him, and I was guilty
Okay.
for all television. And I think that, of course, he especially he hate women.
Because
he is a real man, he is very strong,
and when he sees women that are not afraid to stand against him, that's
Yes.
one of the reasons why he hates them.
And now I think that we have now I think my last 6 months, and I'm really happy that I had these 6 months at my motherland because I saw it by myself. And I understand that the system, it's built on the fire and the repressions.
That's
and
right.
It's fire
Total
inside, and it's very strong. And that day when the repression stops, system began to fail. I think so. Because it's quite difficult to rule. So many people who are in the system who are working with repressions. What could he say them? You were wrong?
Okay. Well, yeah, that's the system. The system will literally eat itself. Do you think of coming back to Belarus?
Someday, of course. But now I couldn't because I can't go to Belarusian prison only.
Okay.
I want to back to Belarus. It's my motherland, and of course, I understand that country and government. It's not. It's very different. I like all my life is about Belarus. All my professional life is about Belarus, about its history, about its people, nature, and another one. I had so many documentaries about Belarus, and it's often it's my life. It's my professional life, and it's my heart. And I want to live in Belarus, but I understand that I couldn't, and it's terrible.
It's
really.
Sad. It's
terrible to understand that I'm free in another country.
Kseniya, I really wish you to come back to Belarus one day, to Minsk, and I hope to see you once again in our studio as a free person.
Thanks.
And maybe as my colleague from Belarus. You never know. You never know.
I hope.
Thank you for joining us today, and good luck to you.
Thanks.
And I would like to remind our viewers that our guest for today was a Belarusian journalist and political prisoner, Kseniya Lutskina. You're watching TVP World. Stay with us.